I wanted to talk about goal setting, and I wanted to talk about the first part of goal setting. And I think that when you look at goal setting, what I really mean is like, how do I want to be in action of designing a life I love on my terms that creates a meaning and fulfillment? And for so many of you, that area of your life relationship is that area where it feels like you want to invest your time and energy, because at the end of life, what is really true is that when you look at the end of your life and you think about like, did I have a meaningful life? For so many people, like at the end of that life, love, in all its forms, is really the core of what makes a meaningful life. And there's lots of different kinds of love and different kinds of relationships, but how do you create intention around that? And I think that for so many people, they think, well, when it comes to like money or work or play or health or emotional well-being or purpose or whatever it is, like those things feel like they're within our control. And so, it's sort of like easy to create goals around those things and create intention around those things and then execute them with focus and, blah, 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 right? And so the limiting belief is that around the area of love and relationship, I can't be intentional. I can't create that. There's so many things around, like, if I want it, then I'm going to get disappointed. There's so many like urban legends around when, if I don't focus on it, it'll happen. It's like all this mental masturbation basically to try and create something that in the end is what most people say gives them meaning and fulfillment in their lives. And if you're here, say hi, because I see there's a little bit of a handful here, and Celia's the only one who said hi. So say hi, tell us where you're from, because I like to know who's here. So what I want to get you started with today is like, are you willing to believe that you can create intention and create a strategy to be intentional so that you can actually fulfill that part of your life's vision around love and relationships? So the first question you have to ask yourself, and I know Celia is because she's done this work, but am I willing to open myself up to the possibility that I could be in intention and take action around this part of my life? So if you're willing to do that, like put in the comments, yes, I'm totally willing. And if you're in a relationship, also you can create intention around that. I am here to tell you that because I've been growing my relationship since I met Jeremy in 2009. So you have to be willing. So the next thing that I want you to really think about, and this is the first phase, and it really mirrors the phase of transformation on our campus, which is reveal, release, rejuvenate, resource. The first piece of this is revealing. And so you have to look at your patterns. And for our purposes, and what I just spent the last 10 days doing is really looking back on this particular year and looking at a deep analysis of, like, at a global level, what worked and what didn't work. And that's the thing that's your homework, right? Is to start this analysis of like what worked and what it didn't work in the area of love and relationship. And I want you to, when you're really designing something and designing your life, you have to really get clear on going big before you can get small. So just really looking at, so first of all, did you have any goals around love and relationship? Like, did you set any goals? Were you intentional specifically, or were you just like, oh, I hope this is the year, or I'm still single, so obviously I'm going to be dating, or I give up, but I'm going to keep reading about it and learning about it, or where are you, like, in your process, right? So this year, did you even have any intentional goals? If you did, great. And you can really look at specifically what worked and what didn't work. What strategies did you do online dating? Or were you trying to just meet up? Did you release that goal in 2021 because of boundaries or fears around the pandemic? Did you have extenuating circumstances so that you had a loss in your family, or your kids were struggling, or something happened, right? So really get clear, number one, in the reveal piece of like what worked and didn't work for you. And think about what it is that are the underlying patterns around what worked and what didn't work. Now, here's how you can get like bonus points or bonus information. If there's an area of your life that you feel like you did have success in this year, it would be interesting, right? And we work with our clients on their whole life. We do this, but in an area where you were successful, what worked and what didn't work. And then think about like, what about what worked in a different area of my life are patterns and things I would want to sort of walk forward with in 2022. And so as you do that step one and you look at what worked and what didn't work, and step two is to look at any patterns around what worked and what didn't work in this area of your life. If there are areas in your life that did work, is there any information or any data that you want to pull forward? And then step three would be like, are there any global sort of like insights from this process? And what we find for a lot of you is that the goals that you've achieved in other parts of your life, mostly you were number one, intentional about. Number two, you had accountability or structure. You had help or a mentor or a guide. You put your focus and energy on it. You put your intention on it. My husband and I were talking about our goals. We did all day yesterday, like our annual review and planning session. I kind of prime the pump and I do my work on it for the whole week before, because that's just my style. And what he said was so profound. He was like, anything that I really like want, like more than anything, I will do whatever it takes to make it happen. And that's really what I want you to kind of think about, like what worked for you and what didn't work for you. And what intention did you put on it? And what are the like key performance indicators about why those things have worked?